Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR Weekly, the man they call Meathead. Joined by Linda Kay, Matthew Thomas on assignment. I believe he is still in line for Taylor Swift concert.
I believe so. There's been a lot of talk, but all the issues with Ticketmaster lately. So I think he's still camped out outside. I don't know if it's Coors Field or.
I don't know. He's probably got some bad blood, though. He's definitely got some bad blood, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Bad blood. He's having to shake off a cold. I mean, I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but that's his style. So I mean, if we were driving along in the car with the kids, they keep going, "Daddy, jokes, jokes, jokes," because I keep throwing the titles in there. All right, Linda, who do we owe the thank you and privilege of acknowledging as a sponsor? I know you're putting them on the glass. I could put it on the glass too.
Well, that would be our wonderful friends at Collar and Elbow. We just talk about being thankful for certain things. Well, it was just Thanksgiving weekend. We had the wonderful Thanksgiving Classic pay-per-view, which we'll get into in a little bit as well. But here, parts unknown. I don't know if you can see that.
Put them on the glass. Ooh, there you go. I got it up on the glass.
There you go. Yes. So collarandelbowbrand.com. Make sure to go there. Check out the latest and greatest in wrestling, street fashions. The Black Friday sale, I'm not sure when you hear this if it'll still be taking place, but there's an automatic 30% discount right now if you go to collarandelbowbrand.com.
You don't even need a code. It's just there.
Yes. Otherwise, of course, you can always rely on promo code Linda K. That's LINDAKAY to save 10% off your order anytime, anywhere. Make sure to check out our friends at collarandelbowbrand.com as well as our friends at prowrestlinginsurance.com.
Absolutely.
It is open enrollment. Make sure to visit our friend Chris. Find out the details on how you can add an affordable supplemental coverage to make sure you are covered anytime, anywhere, 24/7, 365 a year. Well, 365 days a year, but
24/7, 365. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for correcting me on that. However, as I mentioned, affordable rates as low as $9 a month to make sure you are covered. You get paid if you get hurt. Visit ProWrestlingInsurance.com to get the details.
Hey, aren't they a sponsor as well of the big show coming up this Saturday?
Yes, ProWrestlingInsurance.com, one of the sponsors at the biggest show of the year here in the Milwaukee area, GLCW. You know it, Blizzard Brawl. That's less than a week away, Meathead. That's this upcoming Saturday night.
This Saturday night. Now, I don't know if this is year 15, 16, or 17. I've lost track, right? Mm-hmm. Only because my numbers get skewed because I've missed one. Mm-hmm. I've been to every other Blizzard Brawl, including year 2, night 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. Amazing stuff. Do you want to run down the card real quick of what we got going on here? I could set you up. I was going to say I could set you up. I know you're performing. You're going to be ring announcing on Saturday night as well. Yep. Here's what we've got so far. Making appearances, Maria Kanellis. We've got Jimmy Hart along with the Nasty Boys.
Nasty Boys.
Nasty Boys don't mean a thing. Wait, wrong Nasty Boys. We've also got making appearances Dustin Rhodes. Now, Dustin Rhodes is a VIP. You have to buy the front row ticket packages to get autographs from VIPs. But we've also got Daddy Ass. Scissor me, Daddy Ass. And trust me, when he walks in the building, there's going to be, oh, scissor me, Daddy.
I expect to see some scissoring signs in the GLCW arena, if you will.
What I'm hoping doesn't happen in the background. Because I just don't, because obviously we'll be around the talent all day and we'll be working Friday night, Saturday night. And I just don't want to see any backstage scissoring. That part, I don't know what's going to happen there. But folks, we'll report on it next week. We'll have to see. Plus, the Milwaukee area's own Candice Michelle will be in the building as well. Let's talk about some of the matches. First off, it's going to be a 10-man match. Team EC3 versus Team FPP, the Fanny Pack Party. Cal Hero has got a team of 5 taking an EC3's team of 5. Now, Linda, let's talk about the match. Cal was supposed to have Scotty 2 Hottie. Scotty 2 Hottie, unfortunately, unable to make it for this show, and he brought in his former tag team partner, or former tag team champion partner, still tag team partners down in OV Dub, Dustin Jackson, to take his place. But we've got, it looks like Sefa Batu. We've got EC3. Jacob, is it Jacob? Sorry, Sefa, he's up in WWE now. And I apologize, Jacob and Sefa. I kept getting I mean,
To be
it's
fair,
like,
they were together at Blizzard Brawl a couple of years ago, so
to be fair,
yes.
they're not twins, and I get them crossed up, and I can tell the difference between Jimmy and Jay. Linda, why don't you tell us about the 10-man that's going on at Blizzard Brawl?
I mean, that's huge. The last time GLCW, when we were at the Waukesha County Expo Center, it was for
19, yeah.
or I'd say just recently,
Yeah.
it was a big time wrestling show in
Oh,
part with GLCW, where EC3 was already taking shots, calling out Cal Hero as well. So there was already something happening right there in front of our eyes, and before we know it, it is now Blizzard Brawl time, where they come head to head with awesome team members on both sides, strong, wonderful team members. I mean, this has been something that's been brewing, and we saw EC3 putting out a video not too long ago. Just it's happening. EC3 or Team EC3 versus Team FPK. I think we're calling it Team FPK because Cal is the leader of his team.
The
in
fanny
this,
pack kid.
yeah, this tremendous 10-man tag match. That should be huge. I mean, gosh, I mean, we've got so many huge stars in there. Who knows? I mean, that arena, we've seen some matches that have gone through the crowd, gone through maybe the balcony. I'm not sure. Not saying this will happen, but when you got 10 men in one match, who knows what will happen.
You know, some of the people that are on Cal's team, have you seen this list? Obviously, taking Scotty Tuhati's place, being Dustin Jackson. Uncle Al, otherwise known as Leif Cassidy, right?
Yes, Leif Cassidy.
D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo
Brown is on the team. We've got Doug Basham. Wow. I mean, this is something else. It's going to be 5-on-5, and this is an amazing match. A match I want to talk a little bit about. This kind of, I'm so happy to see this. Now, I'm a big Silas Young fan, right? Because he loves him some Screaming Sicilian, pizza, the mustache
the last
pizza.
real man in pro wrestling, Silas Young.
He is the last real man in pro wrestling, and we saw his AEW debut on Dynamite against Hangman Adam Page. But he's taken on a friend of ours, and he's known as the Skull Crusher, Rashi Brown. Rashi, we've seen him living, his best life down in the, southwest of the country, and Rashi is going to make it up to the cold here from Milwaukee. Rashi from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in his final ever match. Linda?
Tremendous. And for those in the area, yes, we all are familiar with the Skull Crusher and just other shows over the years with GLCW, previous Blizzard Brawls.
I think he was on Blizzard Brawl 1, to be honest with you.
He might have been, yeah. but great guy, and just great representative, I should say, of Milwaukee and the pro wrestling community. And that's so huge to have his final match take place at Blizzard Brawl, such a huge stage for this to take place against another famous pro wrestling representative from Milwaukee, Silas Young. I mean, my goodness, this should be a huge one. And for a lot of Milwaukee or Wisconsinites or just anyone within the area here, big pro wrestling fans, that's going to be one. I think they'll be really well received. Not saying the others won't be, but just due to having that local tie and being a part of both seeing their rise in pro wrestling and just seeing their matches over the years, they'll be a great one. Like you said, it's got some sentimental value.
Yeah, it's funny. So we know that Silas is from the area as well, be it Milwaukee, Cudahy, wherever he's from the area. I've always wondered, so when the guys are from the area, they'll mention, if they're faced from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. How does Silas Young get heat? Because Rashi Brown's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. How does Silas Young get heat? Does he say he's now relocated to Chicago, Illinois? I mean, how does he do that?
Possibly. I did announce Silas on one of our shows this summer up in Grafton, and I forgot I think it was more so mentioning some accolades, but who knows? I mean, it's going to be a match where, again, just bringing in local ties and their own personal connection to the area. So it should be really interesting as we get closer to the match this Saturday.
Speaking of local ties, I know that TW3, I know that Jordan Cross, Drew Hernandez, and Cashflow from OV Dub are going to be having a big match as well. TW3.
Fatal 4-way.
Yeah, TW3, an up-and-comer here at GLCW.
Absolutely. And for those who watch OVW, we've been seeing a lot of TW3 featured on OVW as well. I mean, T-Dub's just been, a huge staple in pro wrestling in Wisconsin, and it's great to see him getting that elevation down there in Louisville, but also a fan favorite. So this should be a very...
Well, it comes out to LL Cool J. Of course he's a fan.
That too.
All right, a little bit more in the local. The current and reigning, defending GLCW heavyweight champion Backwoods Brown will be taking on a man that helped begin really the careers of Edge and Christian, and it's Gangrel from the Brood.
Oh, is there a way where we can get something where Gangrel can come from underneath the ground? Not like there's like a ramp, but maybe there can be a
I'm
ramp
thinking
where he
about the
comes out
building,
on
right?
fire.
I'm thinking about the building, right? Because we know the
The
GLCW
layout.
arena. Yeah,
Yeah.
we know the layout. How would he do that? He'd have to come up from under a bleacher. He'd have to
A
come up.
ramp, if there was one made.
Ah, we'd have to work that out. We'll have to talk to him when we see him on Saturday. But Backwards Brown defending his GLCW championship against Gangrel. Your thoughts?
I mean, that's going to be a huge match as well. I do believe it's been over 1,000 days. I'm just thinking about when I'm announcing him, we've been adding that. But Backwoods Brown has been the GLCW heavyweight champion for quite a while. So
Yeah.
to have him have to defend it at Blizzard Brawl against pro wrestling icon
Right.
Gangrel, that I'm sure that would be a tremendous match too. And I'm just wondering, are we going to get full on Gangrel, full on Brood Gangrel, where if you're in the front there, do you got to be aware of some blood shooting out of a goblet?
Goblets, yeah. Because that's how
but
that's how I normally drink my Major Melon Mountain Dew is out of goblets. So let's speak about somebody who also may be into the occult or maybe into a little bit different. And I'm not talking about Mike Kirkhoff. I'm talking about Kevin Thorne coming out as Mordecai.
Yeah, that is awesome. At the last show we had at Circle B, we had Kevin Thorne call out Mike Kirkhoff in front of Mike Kirkhoff's wife and kids sitting there right at ringside, making this clear. We're going to finally get this one-on-one match. I mean, this circles back to last year's Blizzard Brawl, where Mike Kirkhoff from CBS 58 News here in Milwaukee got the pin on Kevin Thorne. Granted, it was a 6-man tag match. However, he got that pin. This has been building up.
Remember, Mike's a former GLCW tag team champion.
That is true. Yes. So that should be a huge match. And this time, though, Mike Kirkhoff, credit challenge, he's not only getting Kevin Thorne, he's getting Mordecai.
That's right.
Should be real interesting with this one as well.
Woof. Let's keep going here. How about Eric Redbeard taking on Moose? Moose has been down to OVW, but Moose, a former Impact heavyweight champion.
Yeah, that will be a huge match as well. I love how we're getting representation from several promotions here at Blizzard Brawl, as we always do. I mean, having Moose there, I mean, he just, recent champion at Impact coming in as well. So I believe Moose, he was here at Blizzard Brawl last year too, I believe. So huge return again, once again, for Moose. That should be another hard-hitting match.
Let's go women's. Okay. How about Chelsea Green and Layla Gray? She's a baddie. Taking on Tiffany Nieves. Am I saying her name right?
Yeah.
Okay. And ODB. Bam!
Oh, love her. Yes. I mean, ODB, a huge part of Blizzard Brawl for all these years as well.
Oh, she was at Blizzard Brawl 1 as well, I believe. Interviewed by the Cos, Frank Cosentino.
There we go. And I got to be in a tag match with her last year. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Love some ODB. Great to have her back here at Blizzard Brawl as well. Nice to have some women's action and some women represented there in another huge match at Blizzard Brawl. So personally, I'm very excited for this one as well.
Yeah. You know who I'm excited to see? Because if we go back to the Big D, who shall not be named on the show, even though we know who we're talking about, texted him yesterday. But while we were doing the Pro Wrestling Report, anytime we brought up this gentleman's name, it was Vampiro. Good God, Vampiro making an appearance against Tony Gunn from OVW.
Shotgun Tony Gunn. That I'm really looking forward to this one too. I mean, Tony Gunn, he's been up here in Wisconsin for several GLCW events for the past year, and a lot of the matches. I mean, I'm just thinking back again, being at the Waukesha County Expo Center. It was for a big time wrestling show earlier this year where he had a match against Penta Cero Miedo, and that one brought the house down. So hoping for another huge one here, and it's for the Juggalo World Championship. So
absolutely
some added value there in this match. So definitely looking forward to that. And then just anytime you have again wrestling icons here, Blizzard Brawl, just something to look forward to.
I'm counting. That is 8 solid matches. I mean, we got the 10-man, we've got the retirement match. You've got, Kevin Thorne, now Mordecai. You've got the 4-way with the, you've got TW3, Jordan Cross, Drew Hernandez and Cashflow. You got the GLCW Heavyweight Championship. The ladies are putting it on in a tag match, a singles grudge match between Redbeard and Moose, and then Vampiro against Shotgun, Tony Gunn, plus appearances by Candice Michelle, Scissor Me Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn, Dustin Rhodes. Holy smokes. The show starts at what time, Linda?
7 p.m., but doors open at 4:30.
And we're getting out at midnight, right? I mean, because this show is just amazing.
I don't think it's gonna go till midnight, but no, doors open at 4:30. I mean, a big part of Blizzard Brawl is that meet and greet prior to the show. This is your chance. Say hello, get your pictures, get your autographs, and just earn it. And also, of course, you have the talent to meet and greet, but also this event itself just brings together the wrestling community as well amongst some other fans. I love seeing whenever we have a good amount of time with the pre-show meet and greets, and you're seeing just the fans just with one another as well. We're all one huge family in this world of pro wrestling. So
we are
4:30 doors, 7 p.m. bell. I can't guarantee if there's a dark match prior. Who knows? There's sometimes there is, and not. But you definitely want to get in there again, not to just take advantage of the meet and greets, vendors, wrestling figures.
Yeah, there's appearances of people that show up that just were never advertised, that are just there. That happens all the time. I can't tell you how many times, people showed up. Like we had that surprise match. Remember the year that it was Ken Anderson took on, I think it was Armando Alejandro Estrada, like days after Umaga's passing. So, I mean, that was a match that just kind of happened out of nowhere too. So,
right. Yes. Well, we got to get to like where you can get your tickets. I'm not sure if that's where you
let's get there
before we forget to mention,
because tickets are almost gone.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone who's familiar with GLCW and Blizzard Brawl, go to blizzardbrawl.com. We know front row sold out. I think you have those details, Meathead.
I had them. I just closed the tab.
That's okay.
Front row is
sold.
Second row with meet and greet, $75 VIPs for the dozen row tickets. Right. Yeah. Third row is gone, and I think fourth row is gone. I think there's first row balcony is still available.
I'm not sure.
That
was sold. I know
that one might be sold.
Was just released.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check it out. I mean, if you tickets as low as $20 for this huge show, $20. I mean, just maybe always puts on a tremendous show.
What did I pay for the Bret Hart show? I think I paid way more than $20 for that one. Yeah.
Well, if you get general admission in advance, $20. I believe GA is $25 at the door, but again, your chance.
$20 in advance.
Those second row tickets that include that Dustin Rhodes meet and greet. Those are almost sold as well. So this show, as everyone knows, always sells out. Do not miss out. It's this upcoming Saturday, December 3rd, 4:30 doors. 7 p.m. bell at the Waukesha County Expo Center. BlizzardBrawl.com. Of course, stay up to date on the GLCW socials as well. Do not wait for the Saturday night, Meathead. This is,
I'm ready
to say the best time of the year. Yeah, it's Christmas.
I've waited all year.
Christmas time. Yeah.
I've waited all year for this. Again, I've missed one show. And trust me, I asked my cousin to reschedule his wedding. He wasn't having it. I've missed one show. So let's talk a little bit of news before we get into Dynamite and Rampage and then Survivor Series results. Impact, if you've noticed, Linda, I know that you check in, I check in all the time. It's not Destination TV because it's not on Destination America anymore. It's on Access, but it is definitely Destination viewing with the new belts. They got refreshed. Everybody's got brand new sparkly belts. Your thought, Linda, on the fact that the championship belts have been cleaned up and shined up real nice.
Well, that's great. I mean, is this a sign of another shift, perhaps at Impact? Some things internal. I'm not sure, but that's always nice when there's I don't want to say like refresh, but what's the word?
A redo.
Reset.
Yeah, reset. Sure. I was thinking redo as in REDUX. A redo.
Oh, redo. Yes. But yeah, some nice shiny belts. But that's just great. That always is just a nice, again, just bring more eyes. The fact that you mentioned that, I'm sure if people haven't seen it yet, going straight to Watch Impact right now just to check that out. So
Yeah.
some
You
good
know what's
stuff.
kind of funny is the picture of Rhino and my man Heath Slater
Yeah.
getting their new tag team championships. Have you seen this picture?
Well,
They're like
super
they're
nice.
holding the belts, right? Hey, look, I got new belts. And he goes, hey, look, out swapping out the tag team championship belts of Rhino and Heath Slater, and then apparently in the background Claudio. So if you look at the picture, over Heath Slater's right shoulder is a picture. It's Claudio just in the background going, "Yay!" Bro. Josh Alexander getting a new one, Jordan Grace getting a new one, so everybody getting new straps in Impact Wrestling. Let's talk AEW. We're going to touch on Dynamite and we're going to touch on Rampage. The thing I want to bring up on Dynamite, first off, Linda, Best of 7 has started. It's going to be the Elite and the Death Triangle.
Uh-huh.
You know me, I'm a big mark when it comes to entrances and big production entrances and real music entrances, and especially throwbacks to, music like Kansas, for example, playing them out. Do you think that this will help wash away maybe the black cloud that surrounds the Elite? Because to be honest, the Elite were pulled off TV for the CM Punk incident.
Yeah, I mean, it's ironic that they did make their comeback at the pay-per-view, but their first time at Dynamite is ironically in Chicago.
Yeah.
Places.
Yeah.
So
So they should have
it's
been heels there, right? Because they were getting booed out of that building.
oh yeah. Really interesting, I wasn't sure if them coming out to Kansas or Karen or Wayward Son was just for the pay-per-view and their return, because there's some talk like, oh, that was, reference to CM Punk and whatnot. But no, they kept that same entrance. All right, that's cool, because the pops with all the great songs from the entrances there at AEW.
Carry on my wayward son.
Yeah. No, I think. Oh, to answer your question, will this help wash away the
dark cloud, not the dark clouds.
Yeah, yes. I think so. It's just hard to say at this moment, given the crowd response. I'm just now from Chicago, but speaking of entrances, I know this isn't like a Billboard song, but the entrance for Death Triangle, I love that as well. So great match. I was looking forward to this one as well. Best of 7. So
that was match 2. Yeah.
Yeah, Death Triangle now up to nothing. Should be interesting with trios thing. But I did for Team Long Time pick up the Elite. I really thought they were gonna get the trios title at Full Gear, and then not knowing that it was going to turn into a best of 7. But
Which
I like
could end at a pay-per-view again, or it could end at Winter's Coming. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, they were. I was just going to say that they were tracking, like showing the dates of the 7, including the dates. I don't think it was set for Revolution next one, but I could be wrong. So, but that
you're right.
said,
actually, we're gonna have to check back in on that, because I think they had them scheduled out and then said match
week.
5, 6, and 7 if necessary. Like it was. I love that. I mean, they made it like a legit sport there. Mm-hmm. So.
And then another unique way to show a tournament for similarly in some to some extent.
Yeah. Speaking of tournaments, the singles eliminator tournament had its finals on Wednesday night, and the finals were All Ego Ethan Page against Absolute Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks coming in, thank you. Ricky Starks coming in with about a pound of bandage on him, and Ricky Starks, the upset, the surprise, is the #1 contender to the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, I think when we discussed this last time, Ethan Page, he's getting a nice push right now, maybe more favored to have won this tournament. However, with MJF now as the champ, it kind of lean more toward it being Ricky Starks, who would be his challenger. But yeah, no, that's good, because I mean Ricky Starks another big fan favorite. So, but yeah, a surprise in that he was bandaged up and hurt, and now beating All Ego Ethan Page to get his shot at the title.
Absolutely. Also, Jericho continuing to defend the ROH, the Ocho, the Ring of Jericho Championship, this time against Tomohiro Ishii. And it's like they're feeding him challengers over and over to kind of strengthen up Jericho. Jericho looked good.
Yeah. I can't imagine how their chest felt, though, especially during the break. The chops continued, and that's the big part of that match, at least in my eyes. Like, whoa, okay. However, yes, I do enjoy, especially this year when we had a lot of New Japan representation and the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, that we are learning more of a
New
mass
Japan talents.
audience.
Yeah.
Yes. And then just learning that history. I mean, the what are they saying? The 25, 26-year history between Ishii and Jericho. And just, I mean,
Yeah.
as of late, I mean, just think about the previous matches, the current all elite signings and contracts with some stars from Japan. I think, it's great. This leads to another topic. Maybe next time when we have Matthew on, how we talk about AEW, like you have ROH there, and then you're also bringing a lot of New Japan stars. Is it just a lot going on with it? I mean, that's
Linda, that was my one complaint. I didn't mean to ruin the show for you when we sat at Dynamite the last time we went, but that was my complaint. Who the hell are all these people? Because remember, the Dynamite that you and I went to was the go home to the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. So we had all these run-ins at the end from all these New Japan stars. I'm like, I have no idea who you are. I have no idea who you are. Why should it be special to me, is what I had said.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's cool because I am, personally learning a lot more about the Japanese wrestling history and superstars, and just the ones that, I mean, have been around for how many years, and now, like making their ways to our TVs here in America. I think that was unique. I've been enjoying learning more about that and learning about these superstars and like previous battles with current stars that I'm much more familiar with. But I'm just saying that it's hard to learn some more stuff if there's other stuff going on too.
Right.
I still like that this is all being included within AEW. I guess just, again, we can say this for another episode, but if there was the capability to put a specific show for a Pacific.
Well, we're talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's over in the Pacific.
So. There you go. Yeah. That would be cool to learn more, on a regular weekly basis. I guess.
And again, just kind of to button it, I do know they're top stars now. I love me some Okada, right? Okada was an amazing talent. Let's move on. Bow Wow and Jade Cargill. What am I supposed to do with this? Is Bow Wow relevant? First off, this is old Meathead here. I have no idea. Linda, you're the hip one here. Is Bow Wow still relevant?
Yes. What I don't know for sure if it was a shoot tweet of him. I guess it started when he tried his shot at Jade and she shot back, and now it's become a big thing between the two of them. I don't foresee Bow Wow being in the wrestling ring for anything. I mean, I can see him being at even if it's a Dynamite.
What if he brings in a talent? What if he brings a talent in and it's Bow Wow's representative? Maybe that's the talent that takes it off of Jade.
Think about that. I don't know if that's initially where this all started, or like where the end game was when this all started. But hey, another way to acquire more fans, more in the mainstream, which means more money. That's really more problems, but more money is to gain access to a more mainstream audience. This is getting coverage like on TMZ. I mean, they had they were talking about. I mean, not to this, but when Penta was at Monday Night Football, George Kittle, I guess.
George Kittle got a luchador mask.
That was cool. So hey,
Name Azteca.
Obviously WWE, obviously the leader in getting this huge mainstream audience and bringing stars. I mean, just think of Logan Paul, for example. But AEW doing their thing with that as well. So I mean, I think that's good though for help the companies grow, and again, more money.
Let's bring this up, but there's nothing to bring up here. We thought that after MJF won the title at Full Gear last week, that we would get MJF right away on Dynamite. We got William Regal. Sunshine, you're not getting MJF this week. I sent him an email. You can hear about it next week.
More boos Linda? From the crowd, yeah.
I mean, the best thing he could have done is harken back to his general manager days. Lower the lights. Okay, bring them back up again. That would have been some amazing control. But your thoughts on MJF so far as a champion? Because we've seen none of them.
Well, what did Regal say? He was off shooting a movie or something?
He is. He's in the Von Erichs movie. He's playing one of the Von Erichs.
Yeah.
So,
well,
we'll have to see how that goes.
It happened to be the week right after him getting the title. Well, hey, you know what? You already have some heat on William Regal, given what just occurred at Full Gear. Why not get more heat? And of course, in a hot Chicago crowd, very fitting with that. But you know what? They got William Regal. They got Moxley coming out. We got that confrontation with Daniel Bryan trying to save Regal, saying, "Hey, I love this man, you know, like
Yeah.
them having, you know, him slapping Moxley too, like that was good stuff right there too. It's just interesting, and just the way Moxley told Regal to get out now, or you know,
Yeah.
otherwise it would have
I
had
thought
a
Regal was
quite a
gonna.
scene
I
there.
thought Regal was gonna get killed right in the ring because Moxley looked like he was gonna destroy him.
Yeah, that
So
could have happened, but no, Daniel Bryan there to make the save. But still, that was a hot way to kick off Dynamite again, and that hot Chicago crowd who was already, I mean, again with the Elite Punk and everything, and then with Regal. So
there was a chant, and it wasn't CM Punk. It was "F the Elite." F the Elite. Yeah.
mhm.
Oh, that chant was going to happen. So they and Tony, Tony Khan runs Chicago. I mean, we know this being from Milwaukee because we get one Milwaukee show where we get 7 Chicago shows a year. Tony Khan considers Chicago a second home. So he will continue to run shows in Chicago, and he's going to continue hear his face team, the Elite, get booed out of the building every time he goes to Chicago.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Let's move to Rampage. For those of you that may not have seen it, Rampage aired at like 2:30 in the afternoon on Friday. Actually, I think it was like 4:30, but it doesn't matter. It was a Black Friday airing of Rampage because they had special NHL games playing that night. So,
yeah, even Jim Ross saying like, "Good afternoon."
good afternoon. For those of you just waking up from your turkey comatose. All right. So we had FTR in Top Flight. We had Dark Order taking on Roosh the Butcher and the Blade, and Anthony Henry versus Darby Allin with Hikaru Shida in a match as well. The big story coming out of the entire show was the shocking unmasking of Preston Vance 10 and the throwing of the mask at -1.
Oh, that's sad. I mean, just bringing a negative one. Obviously, I mean, obviously, he's a big part of Dark Order and big part of just AEW. He wants to be there. Obviously, you know, Amanda Huber having -1 there as well. But being sad and like, oh, you know, like granted, he is part of Dark Order, but he's still a kid, and you know, seeing this happen, that's why I meant like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
However, I see this as a good thing. I mean, just with Dark Order right now, I mean, considering like the relationship like with Adam Page, obviously Adam Page still out from that concussion, but we weren't sure like he was still like aligned with them, but he really wasn't part of Dark Order. But then we have these other one-off matches, and there's not really like say like a solid tag team from Dark Order. They lost Anna Jay to now, you know, with the Jericho Appreciation
And a
Society.
JAS. Yeah.
Right. So I really wasn't sure the direction for Dark Order or which way they were going, but having a way to help elevate one of their stars, and now we see what he looks like, and it's just going to be another big story for Dark Order. I don't know if there's still going to be one
Cohesive unit.
Thank you. I was going to say gelled. Cohesive, same thing.
Jelly, gel. I mean, I don't know what's going on in the locker room, but okay, we got it.
But yeah, a huge shock, but I think it's good for Dark Order, where whether they're staying as one cohesive unit or not, it's bringing some more light to some of their stars that may have not really had this spotlight in the past.
Fair enough. All right.
Oh, can I also mention the women's title? Now it's also no longer the interim AEW women's title. That's huge.
Big news.
I mean, we saw. I had Toni Storm on Team Long Time. We all know she did lose the title to Jamie Hayter at Full Gear.
She didn't lose the interim title anymore. She lost the real title.
But I think that's great. You know, not only for our current champ Jamie Hayter, but just for Toni Storm for her reign as well. That you know it was never.
Love me some Jamie Hayter too. If there's 2 female talents that I really am kind of behind, it's Jamie Hayter and Rhea Ripley. And we're going to get to Rhea Ripley in just a little bit here. As we start talking about Survivor Series, you see how I segue? I've got a flow going here. There was only 5 matches, Linda, at the Survivor Series, but they were all epic matches. The show obviously starts off with the War Games and ends with the War Games. The women, I'm not saying obviously that the women was the opener for War Games, but it's the Bloodline in the main event, so it's going to be the main event. So the women's War Game. Bianca, Alexa, Asuka, Mia Yim. That was the other one I was thinking of, Linda. There was an easy pickup right there that we could have took Mia Yim for some specialty points. And Becky Lynch returning. Linda Kay on Team Longtime tried to make a pickup of Becky Lynch, and then Matthew Thomas in his, Taylor Swift riddled state said, no, slow down. I got Becky Lynch. And it's been sitting on Becky Lynch the whole time.
Yeah, I had to. Thank you, by the way. I believe we just got the updated roster, so now I don't have to make what I thought was a huge pickup, and then like, I was waiting for SmackDown to confirm it was Becky Lynch, and womp womp. But
Oh, you made a
okay.
pickup on me though. I mean,
Yes.
you literally beat me. I was at this computer about to send a message that I was grabbing a gentleman from the main event.
Yeah. But hey, we got some shakeups to take care of. I mean, and make. I mean, we are nearing, the Royal Rumble, where just so everyone's
Roster's
aware,
locked.
right after the Rumble, our roster's locked. So I thought it was important for us to make some moves. I know you made one as well. But just for the women's War Games, awesome. I mean, I've just become really familiar as of late with War Games, with the matches on at NXT. I know
they're amazing, right? They're amazing.
I want to go back and watch like the real classic War Games.
I mean, like the
matches.
Horsemen and Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, you got to see those.
Yeah. But no, I think it was great to see. You always want to see what can they do to outdo what they did last time. I know we had Sky, Dakota Kai, that have been, or Rhea as well, in previous War Games matches, and but no, awesome way to kick it off. I liked certain things with them just having the simultaneous slams like off the corners or something to that sort. We have Sky, of course, doing her moonsaults and whatnot.
She did one off the top of the cage.
Cage. But yeah.
Well, it's a fence, chain link fence that builds a cage. So.
Yeah, I also like how as more and more teammates got into the cage, we had the introduction of, we have chairs, and of course there's one of the tables. We had the garbage can, of course.
Yeah.
Io Shirai, or Sky, excuse me. Again, in the garbage can is maybe people remember when she jumped off the top of the cage with the can. Oh, good stuff. That was the previous War Games, but with this, are the victors. That would be.
That would be the faces.
Team Bianca.
Bianca, Alexis.
Lynch. The finish. Hello, Becky Lynch jumping off the top onto Dakota Kai and Io Sky
through the table. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if you caught the post-show press conference. I caught bits and pieces of it, and they just asked Becky about that. And the first she says, "Well, my ass hurts."
And she didn't say it in clean English like that. She said it with a nice, Irish accent.
Yeah, it wasn't arse. It was ass.
But I tell you, I got that bruise on my arse.
But I mean, for that being off the top of the cage, wasn't it not so graceful? I mean, it was just like, boom, and then she got right up. Yeah. But great finish, great way to kick off War Games.
Well, she's a mom now, so
Well, what did you think?
I love that match. I absolutely love that match. Yeah. Again, we mentioned Rhea Ripley. I thought Rhea Ripley was a star again in this match. Even taking the mist from Asuka as well.
Oh, that's right.
Because, it kind of caught me off guard. I must have turned my head when the mist happened the original time. I looked, I'm like, did Rhea have that much paint on her face before? Because she was painted up a little bit, right?
Yeah, but now it was all over.
The great thing about Rhea Ripley, it's going to be a weird thing that maybe only I could say, and maybe you could say as well. You know how a lot of talents seem to be noticed first for their looks and then the whatever? She got noticed for her talent first. And now she's letting the looks out and all that. So I'm so happy for that. That she was recognized for all the talent, because she's a star. To be honest, that will be one, spoiler alert here, I'm not dropping until after WrestleMania, because she is winning the Royal Rumble.
Oh, I don't know. I think there's a comeback, a major one that's going to happen in the women's side of the Rumble. I don't know if, I don't know if that will happen as far as winning. But no, I am a huge fan of Rhea Ripley. I unfortunately, I had her on team a long time, and then due to her injury, I dropped her. I was just trying to gain points. There's one thing I learned, as I'm still quite a novice in our fantasy draft, is you got to make some changes, some pickups. And I was like,
that's how fantasy football and basketball and baseball goes.
Right. I mean, when it said that they're out for an unforeseen amount of time, we're like, but then again, I should have sat out on Rhea because she's back and just, just more tremendous than ever. Yeah. But great call on that pickup.
Okay. They defeat the team of Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky. I picked up Nikki Cross over the weekend, and I believe it was Hangman Adam Page that I dropped for her. Drop Page, and then Rhea Ripley defeated as well. AJ Styles defeats Finn Balor. Now, this was, again, the quirkiness of our draft. I have the Judgment Day. I have 4 members, right? I do not acknowledge that I have Dominic Mysterio. So if he had a singles match and nobody else showed up, I wouldn't get points for that, okay? But I do have Rhea Ripley. I do have Damian Priest, and I do have Finn Balor. However, because I took the points for Rhea Ripley, I get no Finn Balor points. AJ Styles defeats Finn Balor.
I mean, there was some storytelling here as well. Just the club and their work in Japan and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
I thought this was great. I figured there'd be some help or some. I don't know like exactly to what extent, but we know that the OC would be there backing up AJ Styles, and we would have everyone except for Rhea out there with Finn. But no, I mean, AJ Styles and Finn Balor. I mean, I just sit back and think about their accomplishments and accolades as well, and just alone in WWE, if we want to talk most recently. So this was a great match as well, great storytelling, and I don't believe it's going to be over between both factions, but a great way to really capitalize on what was really happening and taking place there with AJ and with Finn.
Absolutely. In the shortest match, but you know what? Not the worst match. I don't think there was a worse match, but in the shortest match, Ronda Rousey defeats Shotzi. Here's the thing I really liked about this match. It wasn't the wrestling. The wrestling was meh. It was what it was. It was the story. Ronda Rousey was a huge character in this match. I mean, she's just trash talking the whole time and talking to the crowd. That actually is working for her.
Absolutely. I was sitting back and thinking about that too. Obviously, she's been a huge part of WWE since she has debuted, obviously being a women's champion numerous times, headlining WrestleMania. But this heel character is just best. I was, when I was watching, I was thinking
Shayna in the background is helping too.
Yes, and I was gonna say that. Granted, we know My Generation or is like her song. Like you hear the beginning of that song, it's Ronda Rousey. But with this new Ronda Rousey, I think she's gonna have a different song. Is there another Joan Jett song that she can? I hate myself for loving you.
I Love Rock and Roll wouldn't work. No. I Hate Myself for Loving You. And maybe that's, I mean, I think she's good with the song she has, even though you're right, it's a face song.
Did I say My Generation? Sorry, wrong song.
Don't give a damn a reputation.
I was thinking of Generation.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, My Generation by Limp Bizkit is what she's coming out to next.
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe. But no, to your point, yes, I do like having her with Shayna as well. They are, legit badasses. Working. So yeah, I like it. And Shotzi, great show by Shotzi as well.
Yeah, love the tank. Yeah. Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley for the U.S. Championship. What an amazing three-way match. Now, I had a feeling, and you know what? When I found out that you beat me for the Kevin Owens pickup, which we're going to talk about in a second here, I was like, okay, somebody had to have dropped Theory because Theory's grabbing this title. I know Theory's getting this title because they had him low, and they're going to boom, hit him again. Somebody's got Theory. Damn you, Matthew Thomas.
Yeah, I had a feeling he was going to come off with this win too, given what's been happening last.
Even though I had Bobby already in the match, and Matthew had Seth Rollins as well. So Matthew loses the title and wins the title in the match. The new United States champion, still the youngest U.S. champion in history, Austin Theory. Austin Theory's new character. You know what? He got a character correction, and I love it.
Yeah, new trunks as well. He's always been in great shape, but just looks more chiseled and just he looks a little.
He looks like an adult now.
Yeah, it's like he.
Not a kid that grew. Not a kid that just grew a little patch here, or he looks like a man now.
That works perfect with this transition for him, and I think he's going to be a great U.S. champion again. Great things happen there for Young Theory there. Or I shouldn't say that because he's not young.
Yeah,
or he is, but it's now is his thing.
Yeah. So the main event.
The time is now.
The time is now. Yeah. The main event, the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, who was a Meathead pickup, and he didn't get points from him on the last pay-per-view, but he knew that something was going to happen. Took on the team of the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch. Amazing match, amazing storytelling. And you know what? Sami Zayn proved that he was part of the Bloodline. He's going to be so Bloodline until he's not. And what I mean by that is you won't see the turn until you see the turn. Mm-hmm. So he will be over Bloodline. I mean, he will be uber Bloodline is what I'm saying. He will be there. He will be the one that sticks his neck out, the one that takes the kick to the face. He'll be there until the time's up. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will be tag team champions. They're going to be the ones that defeat the Usos. That is why I wanted Kevin Owens, Linda Kay.
Hey, again, to be fair,
To be fair,
I messaged you
Cal.
this. Let's go back to Money in the Bank, where I was literally about to make my Liv Morgan move. You literally beat me by seconds, and then she ends up winning Money in the Bank and becoming the women's champion the same night. So this tit for tat, I guess, inadvertently.
Tit for tit is what I like. Yeah.
But again, another thing I've learned about the fantasy draft is you got to make those moves. Like I can't sit on it and wait on it long. You have to act while it's fresh in your mind. You never know. No things like this can happen. But no, I mean, again, Sami Zayn. I mean, just the whole pay-per-view premium live event. Excuse me.
PLE. Yeah.
Yes. Roman, or like them flashing back to SmackDown the night before, where Kevin Owens was talking to Sami Zayn with
Jay behind the door.
Yeah. And then him saying he didn't, and then Roman calling him in.
Fine too.
Survivor Series, and just everything, even when contestant number 2, if you will, from the Bloodline was supposed to come in, you thought it looked like it was going to be Jimmy Uso. Instead, Roman's literally tugged his shirt.
Yeah.
Didn't say a word, sat in his chair right there in the pod and pointed. And then
of course he sat in a chair.
Of course. But you had that whole storytelling the whole time in that ring as well between Sami and Jay, because they had some physicality as well. But all in all, I mean, just the way it laid out literally, and you had KO and Sami face each other, and then Roman having Sami, you got to do it. He did his Luva kick and got Jay the chance to finish it there on
the big hug at the end.
Oh yes, which was weird. I was watching, like, wow, Roman's very, very huggy tonight, because he hugged in the locker room and now in the match, and then you see Jay and you're like, oh. Which once this does happen, and just like what KO said, you got to turn on the bloodline before they turn on you. The fact that they're now this tight
means the turn is coming.
But when it does happen, it's just going to mean, I cannot wait. I mean, I love this. Don't get me wrong. I love
Chef's
the
kiss.
bloodline. I love Sami Zayn right now. So hot with this right now. But when it does happen, like, you just can't wait. And we have Royal Rumble and WrestleMania right around the corner. Just a wonderful time. As always, we say for wrestling. I mean, we watch pro wrestling all year round, but just
it's time. Yeah, it's time. And you know what it's time for? Again, I've been mastering the segues today. It is time to talk PWR Fantasy Draft. We talked about it all throughout the thing. I asked Linda pre-show, would you like me to tell you now or wait for the air? She goes, save it for the air. I want that live reaction. Okay, the winner of the pay-per-view was actually, you know what? I misread it. I calculated it right. Linda, you won the pay-per-view as well. I thought Matthew had this score. Yeah, you won the pay-per-view. Okay. However, the accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe has new totals. And the leader in the PWR Fantasy Draft with 3,255 points, Team Longtime, is now leading the pay-per-view at 3,255. In second place, the man they call Meathead with the team of Meatheads, 3,165. So you're beating me by 90 points now. And then Matthew Thomas with 335 points on the pay-per-view, 2,610. Linda, you had 350 for the pay-per-view. Matthew had 335, and for the pay-per-view, I had 235. So, Linda, that KO pickup was the difference.
See, that's what did it. I believe I heard we talked Liv Morgan. All right, this is a tight race. This is the most in the hunt, in the race I've ever been.
Yeah. So, and you know what? It's funny in the chat too. I got shot down because what was my next pick? I was like, yeah, I'll draft Liv Morgan for Alexa Bliss. Meathead. I got Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. It was great. I think this is just fun, us competing against one another, but also I've just never been so even near the top that I was just like,
your lead dog is what you are.
Crazy. Yep. This is exciting, but hey, we have Royal Rumble coming up too, and WrestleMania, where anything can happen.
So let's talk about that. Before the Royal Rumble completes, once the Royal Rumble match is over, the men's final match, once that match ends, the rosters are locked. So we have to think about this, folks. I want you guys to pay attention, to hit us up on the Twitter, hit us up on the Facebooks, on all the socials. You have to think about this. What pay-per-views are coming up after that? So until Royal Rumble, we've got NXT event, and that's it. And then by the time of the Royal Rumble, really after Rumble, we've got AEW. I think it's Revolution.
Revolution, yeah.
February.
February.
Yep. We've probably got one more NXT show. We might have Fastlane. We might have
Elimination
Chamber and WrestleMania. And that's it. That's the PWR Fantasy Draft for 22-23.
Yes.
Who's going to win it?
I mean, anything can happen. And again, with AEW, it's double the points. So considering
you got to hope that you're
can't
getting
make any changes after the Rumble before that pay-per-view, that's something for each of us to really think about it as well.
Yeah. This has been an amazing show. Linda, thank you for doing this solo with me again. Matthew Thomas, hopefully. Yeah. Well, I mean, I had a problem pronouncing Sepha and Jacob. So see what I did there.
I did, yes.
So hopefully Matthew got us the tickets to Taylor Swift. That's what we're hoping for. That's why he's in line. Hopefully he tested negative for, not getting the tickets, and he tested positive for getting us tickets. So everything's going good there. Matthew Thomas, for Linda Kay, the band they call Meathead. We will talk to you next week and have a big breakdown. I don't know what we're getting done at Blizzard Brawl, but we're going to Blizzard Brawl this Saturday.
Yeah.
All righty. So long, everyone.